today we want to talk about a couple aspects for you as witnesses in preparing for your talk. I'm very pleased to be joined by Katherine Coolidge, who is the coordinator for the Called and Gifted program from the Catherine of Siena Institute in Colorado Springs. Katherine travels the country and does excellent work in helping parishes and dioceses identify the strengths of their people, their lay people especially, so that we can have vibrant parishes and dioceses. Katherine, welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here with you today.
Wonderful. So I guess the first question we really want to talk about today is, we're going to have these missions.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be preaching from a religious order priest. Why is it important that there be lay witnesses as a part of the missions?
Well, I think lay witnesses play a critical role in helping people to make the connections, to connect the dots, if you will, between the Christ in the Scriptures and the living witness of a disciple of Christ. And let me tell you a little story that perhaps will illustrate that. There once was a woman, she was standing in the grocery store, and it's amazing the kind of conversations you can have near the cantaloupes. And that was what she did that day. She's standing there picking out her cantaloupes. She's in Florida. She just moved to Florida not too long before. And someone, she had no idea who this person was, this woman came up to her and said, "You, I know you." And she's a little stunned and taken aback. And then the woman proceeded to explain. They had a mutual friend. Well, this woman was visiting, she was vacationing in Florida from Ohio. This mutual friend lived in Ohio and had a picture of the woman and her standing together in her backyard. And she recognized her from the picture. But the story that she told was amazing. The woman that was standing next to the cantaloupe had taken a phone call from their mutual friend most every day during the last half of her pregnancy while she was on bed rest. The phone call came at the most inopportune time for a young mom, at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, when she was usually busy trying to tend to children and cook her dinner. But yet, something inside her said that that was an important thing to do. Well, that story had inspired the vacationer to the point that she became open to being available to do acts of kindness, to sort of pass it along to others. But here's the interesting thing. No one knew why she did what she did. And the backstory was she had been that mom on bed rest at one time in her life. And it was during that time and during the premature birth of her son that she came to a new relationship with Jesus Christ. And she felt that when her friend called her from bed rest in need of a conversation on the phone, it was, if you could say, a divine appointment, that God was calling her out to respond to her with the same love that he had shown her at her time of need during her pregnancy with her child. That backstory is really what is important about a witness talk. Providing the why we do the things we do. Because to be a witness, as Cardinal Sunan said, is to live a life that would make no sense if God did not exist. It is explaining the why we do the things we do, and also providing people with a path that perhaps they can imitate or be inspired by to become a follower of Jesus and follow him in the midst of his church, which is what an intentional disciple is.
That's wonderful. Thank you. We've often heard from other priests, religious order and diocesan priests who've done these missions before, that even if there's good music and a compelling message, what they find is that the witness talks are some of the most powerful moments for the mission. Hearing from other lay people, kind of just like you and me, it can have a tremendous impact. And I think the story you told really speaks to that and to the significance of the witness for the mission.
Absolutely. It's important to have something that's relatable, particularly recognizing that the audience sometimes comes seeking a meaning or a purpose in life. That often is what brings them to a mission. And so knowing a little bit about the audience and where they are in their own relationship with God can be extraordinarily helpful to crafting a good witness talk.